We are starting the recording now. We've got Jordan playing Autopsy and Speed. Who are you playing?
You know what? I'll play Black Hole.
Black Hole. Okay. He was an American, right?
Yeah, he was an American. He was just working abroad. He has contacts of NASA and Reed Richards.
Does he have engineering skills and stuff like that?
Talents are aerial combat, marksmanship, and engineering.
Okay. So Black Hole is in Europe for his as a partnership mission. Oh, sorry, guys. For NASA.
Okay, Jake.
Yeah. And the European Space Agency. And you were. Oh, does the European Space Agency? European. Do they have one in the UK?
What was that?
I said, do they have a thing in the UK?
I can be there as a consultant for satellite stuff.
Okay, you're actually meeting the UK Space Agency, which is part of one of the countries that have their organization in the Europe under the kind of the European Space Agency umbrella, like a local partner, and you are there helping them develop some. You know what? Actually, wait. We're playing Autopsy,
Jake
right?
says that he would took a position with NASA working on their Mars programs. Maybe we've gotten info back about the Mars base exploding, and he's been called in to figure out what happened up there.
Which I'm more of a hands-on astronaut. My reason is only good.
Oh boy, we have something in common. Rob wants to meet him. It's like, wait, you can be an astronaut and only have good intelligence?
Hard work.
You are working with. Who is the Iron on that?
I was an ace pilot with the military. I looked up like the background of astronauts, and almost all of them were in the military.
Yeah, they're all pilots.
All right, you're with the European Space Agency, but working with the Irish Space Agency, the ESA, the ISA, the Irish Space Agency. That's the Ireland. That was my cat sneezing, guys. I don't know if you ever heard a cat sneeze, but this one sneezes all the time.
Turnip will sneeze sometimes.
He sneezed all over my phone. Got little snot droplets all over it.
That's disgusting.
Perfect.
Way to go, Apple.
I think he has an allergy to chicken. Anyways, so yes, you're there with the ISA. They have a base. Their headquarters in Limerick. No, we'll put it in Galway.
Galway or Galloway?
Galway, I don't know.
There might be two of them. Galway is the one that's kind of
Galway. It's a bigger city, but it's not a big This is a big city.
Yep.
And it's obviously our Ireland's hip and happen in place, and they have spread out some of the various agencies. And since Ireland has developed their own space agency thanks to a spin-off
of Mercury.
No, it's a aerospace agent company that operates a private space agency out of here. And they are, but the government's gotten in on it as well. Anyways, so you're there in Ireland, and you have entered Dublin. I don't really have any background information for Black Hole. So can you give us a little bit of background information for him?
Sure. I'll give his starting story. He was an astronaut working on the International Space Station when some alarms started going off, and I was sent to check the back of the station when it was torn apart by radiation. I woke up in Arizona, somehow having survived the fall through the atmosphere and back down to Earth. Reed Richards was one of the first scientists who was consulted because of distinct similarities between his anomaly and mine. My character strives to be a hero like Reed, but doesn't care much for Reed's scientific nature. Both parents are extremely proud of their astronaut son, and they're very encouraging about his dream to set up a research facility on Titan, one of Jupiter's moons. His only sibling, a sister named Frances Lackey, is finishing her doctorate of theoretical physicists.
Which she has finished. You can just update that to finished, because it's been a couple years since we last saw him.
Yep. Before being an astronaut, he was in the military from ages 18 to 24 as a jet pilot before being accepted by NASA. While in the military, he studied engineering, and although not the smartest person in the military academy, he distinguished himself as a very hard worker.
And then you helped out. He came in during the Japanese game, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
he was there quite a bit.
He was doing some research there.
Partnered with the Japanese space agency.
Yeah.
Alright, so, Autopsy. We'll start with you, and then we'll get into some black hole action later, in a minute.
Alright.
Sounds good. I'm going to run to the restroom real quick to get more water.
Autopsy. As you are getting, you've landed in Dublin. You take off and head towards where your family was staying. Nervous and relieved that everybody doesn't know. You don't hear a single Ralph, "Hey Ralph," or anything like that, like you had been hearing. But nervous nonetheless. Your autopsy identity solidified. You all split up and go your separate ways. Flying across the city, your Alexi goes off.
Yeah. This is Autopsy.
Hello, Autopsy. This is Dr. Afzal Zaman. Do you remember me? You haven't been in contact for a while.
Sorry, Doctor. I just got back from a long-distance trip. Can you refresh my memory?
I was the doctor that spoke to you a while back about the invention, the time viewer.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember that,
was,
Jordan?
Yeah, vaguely. It was
Okay.
a device that he could, program in a time period, and it would, appear on a screen, and you could, see what had happened there.
Yeah.
Was it based off of old Kang technology?
No, that's not what he said. I mean, it's clearly inspired by the Kang technology, because Kang did a fairly similar thing right before Kang Dynasty. So.
Yeah. Yeah, Doctor, I vaguely remember it. If I recall, you were still working some bugs out of it. How can I help you?
Yes, I've been using the device, and I've seen quite a frequent worry that has come up, an alternate timeline that seems very likely to happen. in the coming days. Um, Mr. Autopsy, I believe that well, you're going to want to see this. And can I send this to your device? You see the
Yes,
little
please
picture
do.
of Oswald Sama on Alexi. It's like a video call. And he says, "Okay."
Wasn't he like? Didn't he work with Gadgeteer?
I think he had a bullet paste nearby. Yeah.
I thought that's. I think that's how. I think that's how I knew him. Somehow, whatever. Yes, please send it.
Alright, it comes through, and you see like a recording of the time thing. It's got like a camera recording it because it actually cuts open a portal to an alternate timeline. And as you're watching,
This guy's just like ripping these things open in his.
yeah, in his basement.
Okay.
And as he does, you see it, and you see Victoria and Fuuten, your mother, and all of your siblings killed, and their bodies like brutally dismembered. And you see like your Autopsy like as he screams up into the air, and then he turns to the side and he grabs hold of the purple moth and he's like and then boom, shadow punches him through the face, killing him. And then slowly the time like speeds up, and you see the Ireland kind of like fall underneath your dictatorial mandate.
I'm a tyrant.
Yeah, as you've captured some sort of Catman to empower your armies to enslave the world.
The Ireland.
Yeah,
For the
and Europe falls, and it threatens the rest of the world under the fist of a man who now calls himself Tartarus.
Yeah. Oh, Doctor? Back. You still there?
Yes.
This is very troubling.
Yes. Don't go down such a dark path.
Thank you. No.
This future
this is just me.
as you know, I had a limited time frame, but I was been trying to contact you for a while, and you notice like there's a couple like beep 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 beep,
Yeah.
as more messages come in from your absence. And you've got probably about a half dozen of him, and the first one's like, Autopsy, 2 weeks into the future, this event's going to happen, and you realize that by the time you arrive, there's a single week until the time frame for this event. Yeah. So,
Okay.
this to prevent this alternate future, Officer Zama says, Dr. Zaman says, Mr. Autopsy, your family is in great danger. And you realize also that apparently this guy with this time
he now knows my secret identity. So
knows your secret identity.
Really long.
Yeah.
All right, Doctor. What you just showed me is very disturbing, but I'm very thankful that you sent this to me. I apologize. I've been out of the country. It's a very poor signal. Can I trust that you will keep the particulars that you saw in this between you and me? I understand if you need to talk to someone about the large picture of it, but I need the identity of those individuals to remain a secret.
Well, I told you that when we worked together that you came and helped me stop some of these dire futures, I would be grateful. And I don't believe it would be good for me or much of Europe if you were to be driven insane at the grief from the loss of your family.
I mean, it's the family part. Let's just keep that between you and me.
Oh, certainly. Of course. Haven't told anyone.
Yes. Wait, real quick, Jake. This future has happened even though we've just mind wiped everybody on the planet.
Yeah. Apparently.
God dang it! was probably so crazy it didn't affect his brain. Who knows? Okay. Well, the individual that you see in the video. I have a positive ID on
the picture of the location in the video is not a location you're familiar with.
Yeah. So it's not Ireland, or is this not a part of Ireland?
Yeah, it's some sort of building interior, quite a large space.
Okay. And you said it was my entire family.
Yep. Minus your father and your dead sister.
That's interesting because I still have a lot of family stateside in the United States.
Yep.
So. Oh, I scroll through. Is there any text from my mom talking about like getting a family reunion going?
Yes, there is.
Oh boy, they're already here.
Yeah, they are. They arrived. Well, they're arriving today, actually.
Okay. Thank you, Doctor. If you are able to glean anything else from
your mother's wants you to also, while you're looking at that, you notice that your mother wants you to meet. Sorry, man, I ate these mixed nuts and apparently they're really dusty or something. Your brother wants you to meet your mother wants you to meet your brother. Garrett.
Okay.
Who is coming to the family reunion tomorrow.
Wow. So where have he and I been? I know that Autopsy
You haven't
tried to
you haven't spoke to him in years.
Okay. So he's been completely.
Yeah, you don't know how your mother got in hold of him.
Okay.
And you get a message today that's like a really worried. It goes to Alexi because it's set up to forward your thing. Ralph.
Yeah.
It says, Ralph, where are you? I'm really worried. You've been gone. Now that I think about it, for like a couple weeks. We've called the police and put out a missing persons. If you get this, please respond. Victoria.
And who sent that to me?
Victoria.
Oh yeah, I pinged her back. Hey honey, just arrived. Got a lot to tell you. Are you okay?
No, she like calls you up as you're flying in. You've put Afzal Zama on hold to call your wife, and he's like, okay, and you're like, and she's like, no, something's wrong. Something seems to have affected my mind. I don't know why I would have taken this long to call for you. This is classic.
I can explain it all.
This is classic mental tampering from my. I know this from SHIELD training.
Yes, you're correct. I can explain everything to you. If you don't mind, can I call you back in 5 minutes? I've got a very important thing that I also need to talk with you about, but I need a little bit more information.
Okay.
I love you.
Yeah, I love you too.
Be there in 10.
And it hangs up.
What a great wife. Thanks. And then, he goes back to Dr. Nizami. Doctor, what else can you tell me about
Zaman. First name Afzal.
You put that in the chat.
Oh, dang it.
Okay, Dr. Zahn. Dr. Zaman, is there anything else that you can tell from that?
No, I can just see futures. I mean, I saw another one that's supposed to happen in the coming weeks. And he turns it to you, and he sends the video. There's a big parade going on. Looks like it's a not in a different country.
Okay, it's just a parade.
Yeah. They're going to have great weather, maybe, in one universe at least.
So, so this just shows you any and all potential timelines.
Yes, I spend a lot of time working on it and watching them.
There theoretically be an infinite amount of them based upon any decision that anybody made at any point.
Yes, there's an infinite number of timelines.
So how do you determine? How are you able to flag the ones that are?
Because the one that I've shown you has shown up in the last 864 of the sample size of 1,000.
See. Okay.
So I can't say for
Thank you,
certain,
Doctor.
as the sample size is still quite small, but I would put it around 80% chance likelihood.
Yeah, I'm not great with math, but I put it the same.
Yeah, I said 80 because we were plus or minus about 11%. So
No, that's too high, Doctor. That's 80% too high for my liking. All right. You have me at this number. If you see anything that changes, in fact, Doctor.
well,
actions
it doesn't
that you
quite
take,
work
I
like
would
that.
know
I
if
can
you-
only run so many simulations a day, and he starts to go into a bunch of time machinery, like the chronometer operates you monitoring certain chronal fluctuations that happen at select intervals depending on when timelines line up, and as the timelines intersect, the chronal energies that are released from some sort of central nexus dimension radiate outwards through all various blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I know. All right, Doctor. Is this a lack of resources that keeps you from being able to pin this time down when this is going to happen more accurately? If I provided those to you, could you get us a clearer picture?
Oh yeah. I told you you've got about 6 days until the day of the event.
6 days. Okay.
Or 7.
All right.
One of those two, I would say.
Really helpful if you could nail that down to a day, Doctor.
Good luck. I really can't do much more.
All right. Well, you've done plenty. Thank you. God be with you and with us, and hope this never happens.
Yes, certainly.
Do all I can. And then I'll hang up, sweat kind of going down his brow. He's like, purple moth. That's psycho. And he starts like kind of formulating a plan in his mind.
Okay. So you make your way back. You are at
Yeah. The house, the old brownstone.
Yeah, I
Apartment
guess.
building?
Is that where you guys live still?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Yeah, you come back to the old brownstone apartment building. All 3 floors are all empty, and you got the whole place to yourself. Victoria's had a garage expansion. She bought the property next door and is building a garage there. And you
It's
can
like
see.
one of those really sick, like multi-tiered ones where they like take your car up the elevator and
Yeah,
slot it.
yeah, it's like a Carvana commercial kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you see your cool convertible jet car out front.
Nice. So at this point now, she's like the way more popular person in the marriage, right?
Oh, by the way,
everyone's-
Ralph Contain, your popularity is 0 now.
Okay. What is Autopsy at now? I guess are we still at like everyone hated him because he didn't turn himself in?
Yeah, he's still wanted and everything. Nothing else has changed.
Okay. I don't think I actually even had a popularity for Ralph.
They would have been merged, so because he had a public
okay, so
identity.
We'll just separate Ralph out.
Yeah.
Ralph. 0. He'll probably become somewhat more famous if he is married to
Yeah, she's like
an international race car driver.
She's like a 45 popularity.
Yeah. And it's her identity. I guess her identity's public, right? People know her as
Shooting Star, the superhero, yeah.
Yeah.
Former superhero. Though she apparently is sometimes occasionally still active.
Yeah. Okay. Because she never wore like a domino mask or anything, right?
No, she never wore a mask and she never kept it a secret, so. Her SHIELD agent's days are a secret, though. Somewhat.
Yeah. So, okay. I'm going to say that Ralph does not fly into the apartment complex as Autopsy. I'm going to say that he, like, lands in a park.
Alley nearby, changes, comes back out, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Are we at the point where we can just assume that's standard operating procedure?
Unless I will ask you specifically otherwise if there's any reason I need to know where you're changing, but you don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
As long as you, the important thing is to know that you're planning to come in through the front door, right? You walk in, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he comes in. Comes jogging up the stairs. Keys in the door.
Okay, as you put the keys into the door, there's a message from Fuuten. He's like, Ralph, I have just got in contact with Victoria. We were wondering where you were at. Glad to see you're back. Was really worried. Let me, well, something weird going on. I was working on this thing, but it doesn't, I don't know why. Anyways, give me a call. You were a detective, so maybe you can figure it out.
Yeah. He'll shoot him a text and say, hey, just got home, talking to Victoria, and then I'll give you a call.
Fuuten was going to solve your problem for you, LeMayo.
No, he's working on Evie.
Oh, gotcha.
The other problem.
Remember she got like mashed, dropped in the bottom of the ocean.
Gotcha.
Oh, you didn't see that, Josh. She got mashed and dropped in the bottom of the ocean.
I remember talking about it because you've like got Iveta now or something.
Alexi.
Yeah, Alexi, the Russian knockoff.
Alright. So you make your way in the house?
Yeah, he comes in. Yeah.
She, Victoria comes over, gives you a hug, kiss on the cheek.
Yeah. Hey.
And like you're like, what? Were you 5 or whatever? And then you look over and you see your mom and your sisters, and they wave at you.
Yeah. Hey. All right, guys.
Your family gets up and they're like, Ralph, where were you? Mom was really worried. You see Glenn there, and Henrietta.
Yeah, they brought like their wife and
Yeah.
wives and kids and all that.
You see, your sister, Elizabeth Containe's husband, who's...
Wait, she lived?
No.
Because she was the one that died during Kang War.
Yeah, I know. You see her husband.
Yeah, okay.
His name is Miroslav.
Okay.
He was a defected Soviet scientist
Sick.
who married
So that's great. So he's still been part of the family. All right, I like that.
Yeah, who married your sister was a designer in San Diego. Remember that? So.
Yeah.
And your Douglas Contain is your brother is there with his wife and 2 daughters.
Okay.
Glenn had recently had a son. Give me a name.
Like Henry.
Okay. You see your mother, Claire Contain, there. She has picked up work volunteering at a art museum nearby.
Cool.
Your sisters, the triplets, are all there.
Cool.
The two of them have brought their husbands who were twins.
Nice.
And the other one's still single. She's 28 years old now. They're all 28 years old. Most of them are kind of doing this and that kind of early in their employment. And Isabel is there, who has continued her athletic endeavors and is
She was a swimmer, right?
she was a runner.
A runner? Okay.
Yeah, after you got Seth to cure her of her paralysis. And
Okay.
after you got her paralysis cured. I believe that was Cork Academy's work.
Running? Okay. Yeah, the triplets were all swimmers.
More the swimmers, yeah. But she's a runner, triathlete, and she's got like some like sports logos on her bags and stuff. She's the next one to give you a hug as you come in. And she has been having a lot of success, and the like single-minded like devotion to it has like brought her to the level of like professional, low-level professional.
Okay. So she got like a full track scholarship in college, and
yeah, she went to a small college in Oregon,
like
and ran there, but now she's running for like the U.S. team.
Okay. And does she have like a career doing like triathlons and stuff, like that kind of thing?
Yeah. Well, like, she's 24 right now, so 23 right now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Ralph just goes around hugging everybody. Hey, so sorry. Didn't mean to make everybody worry. It was a really, really weird work trip that took way longer than needed to. No signal. It just like whatever kind of like excuses he can sort of make, and he gives like a meaningful look to like Victoria. He's like, hey, I'll tell you more later, kind of thing.
Yeah. She kind of nods. Obviously, instantly picking up on any body language cues. Yeah, your brother, your nieces, Jan Contain and Kinder Contain, which the last time you saw were quite young. They're now 11 and 8 years old.
Okay.
So, and then the son, Henry Contain, has just turned 1.
Okay. Oh, wow, so there's a whole crowd of people.
Yeah.
The Garrett's not here yet, right?
No. And as you look out at everybody, you're smiling. Everybody's kind of happy to see you. They were really worried. And you then like flash back to that scene, and they were all dead.
What do you mean flashback? Oh, like, was this the location?
No. But I'm just saying, like, as you look out and you see everybody smiling at you, you kind of see that same thing, right?
Yeah, everybody was gonna die here. Okay. Yeah, I gotta solve that. I gotta figure out what's going on there.
Yeah, what do you want to do?
What time of day is it?
Middle of the afternoon.
Okay, yeah, I think he spends the rest of the day just like hanging out with people, like kind of like saying, oh man, like he does like the Peter Parker thing, right? Oh, yeah, the family reunion, of course. I've been looking forward to it. Just completely forgot it was today. I thought you guys were all coming next week. Good Lord, and then just like hangs out with them the whole day, palling around. He takes the little kids out, buys them all ice cream. It takes them out to but if everyone wants to say, hey, when did everybody get in? We can do a big. I can take you guys. We can go down to the shore. We can go down to the park. There's a really cool park here. I can, he just kind of like rattles off stuff. He's really just like incredibly happy to see his family, while like underneath being like really concerned, like, oh my God, when's this purple month? Yeah, I got 6 days. Like, what if he comes now?
Like, how am I going to track this guy? He's got an idea for how he wants to do that, but he's like trying to keep up a good front with everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty fun. You find yourself forgetting about it a couple times. People, your family's all living interesting lives, or somewhat uninteresting, but they all seem happy. Right?
Loves the normality of it.
Yeah.
He's been missing that. He's been super missing that, I think, over these last few years. Just being able to go out with his family and enjoy them.
They
they may find it kind of boring, but he's like really into whatever they're into.
And towards the end of the day, though, you guys kind of come back together. Your mom's there. She's just so excited to see everybody. Kind of as the kids go to bed, everybody just starts to talk about what everybody's doing, and then they look over at Miroslav has just kind of been sitting there quietly, and they talk about how much they miss Elizabeth and your father Leonard, and that the guys kind of go back and forth talking about funny old stories about it's been a while, right? So your father was killed 2 or 3 years
almost
ago.
3 years ago.
And your sister's was killed 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
But you guys chat and tell some old stories. Give us a story.
All right, so
Put you on the spot like this.
Ralph talks about he's not sure if Elizabeth ever told Miroslav, but back when Ralph was growing up, like the late '80s, early '90s, he really got into skater culture. He thought it was super cool. So he wore the oversized pants and the button down shirts the kids had, but left open, and they had a Nirvana tee and everything. And he wouldn't grow his hair out, and he convinced his younger brothers. They took so he would have been I don't know, maybe 14, 15. He and his little brothers at night built this portable skate ramp, and disassembled it so they could easily pack it. They loaded it all in their dad's one of his bakery truck, and Ralph drove it out to this park in the middle of the night, and they built they assembled it in the park up the side of this hill, and the whole goal was for Ralph to ramp off this thing, and they had in his mind we're gonna jump the pond. We can do this. One of the brothers was pretty good at math, and he was yeah, I think if you got enough speed going down this, we can jump it. He's all right, sick, we're gonna do this. But they knew they couldn't tell mom, they couldn't tell dad, so they built this skate. And I actually remember the pond from John Deado. They had this big hill behind it, and so they built this thing made out of plywood and black plastic and stuff, and they roll this thing out, and their idea is they're gonna ramp it right as the sun is coming up. So one of them's gonna film. He's gonna look so badass, the sun coming up behind him, and ramp this, and it happens. They all lied. They told their mom that they were hanging out at one of their friends' house, staying the night over at one of their friends' house. They take the bread truck, drive it out there, build this thing, assemble this thing. It goes down the ramp. They time it right. Sun's coming up. The brother's got one of the big beefy video camera kind of things. Ralph is ripping down this ramp. It looks perfect. He jumps it. He's going, and all the noise that they were making startled all these ducks in the pond, and this whole flock of them flies up, and they just collide into Ralph as he's right over the pond. It's not a huge pond, but right over the pond, and he almost drowns in the pond. He fell, and the board hit him in the head and concussed him, and he almost drowned in the nasty green duck crap pond water. And his little brothers had to pull pieces off of the ramp to try and get him, and the guy like filmed the entire thing, was super scared that they were going to get in all this trouble for almost killing Ralph, and so he gave it over to the parents, and he was grounded for the whole summer.
Your mom laughs at that as you finish telling it, and then kind of a little sorrowfully says, that video, I still had it in the house all the way up until it got destroyed in that fire. It would have been great to keep it.
Do they know why they were targeted by Hobgoblin?
I mean, the house didn't catch on fire that time. They don't anymore. They have no idea. It wouldn't make sense if they thought about it, but they're not.
Oh, so it's just one of those things. You're just like, yeah, like there's a tragedy. Dad died, and everyone just kind of knows that Dad died. But
no, they know Dad got killed by Hobgoblin, right? But if they think about why your dad got killed by the Hobgoblin, they start to be
so
like,
they just
why?
kind of say it's just like random terror. He was a terrorist.
Probably that's what they would think. Yeah. But yeah, no, the place got burnt in the fighting during Kane War.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, Mom, you might feel sentimental about it, but I'm glad it's not there.
And one of your brothers laugh, and then your sister goes, "Look at this," and there's like a meme that one of them took on their cell phones and was using it. It's like it's a duck fail, and they pull it. One of your sisters pulls it up on the on like a group chat where they've been sending it. So like that's a duck fail.
It's like, what? No, you gotta get rid of this.
So that's how the next day goes. You wake up in the morning to go meet.
I think that night, like Ralph talks to Victoria, right?
Yeah, you have plenty of room in the house too, so you just spread everybody else out through all of the empty apartments.
Yeah, through all the empty rooms. Hey, Ralph, what do you get? You should rent this place out. Get all this room.
And one of them just says, they're like, Ralph is just a stay-at-home dad.
Oh yeah, no, he's totally he plays up the whole like kept man kind of thing. He's like talking about how he's been working on his cooking and stuff. And so
Victoria shakes her head like, no, you're terrible.
I know, this is a working part. It's hard. Why do we eat so many dinosaur chicken nuggets? And so he goes. I think he goes up on the roof with her, and he's like, "Hey, I got something to tell you." And then like gives her the whole spiel.
Are you before you do this? I will ask, as you pull her up onto the roof, you're like, I got something important I want to tell you, and you think about it, like you wanna tell her your secret identity, tell her everything that's happened, what happened out there, or you just want to pretend like you're a normal man.
How long is he gonna keep being the hero Autopsy from his shield trained super spy wife, right?
I don't know. You could be a detective again.
I mean, he still could, right?
Yeah.
He still could. No, I think he's at the point where he knows he needs to have a core group of people who know who he is.
By the way, the whole Exiles team also knows. They didn't get mind wiped.
Yeah, right. They didn't get mind wiped. I think he believes it's important that he tells her and Fuuten that his immediate family knows. Because before this, his whole family knew. I think he'd even like told his parents or something. I guess we never went into that.
They knew from when it got revealed, I believe.
They didn't know before that?
I don't think so.
I think they knew before that.
I don't think so.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, to do
that would be a huge risk.
Yeah, 100%. So, in fact, rather than take her up on the roof, I think they go for a drive. I think he's like, hey, let's go for a drive, and they're kind of cruising.
That's very odd behavior because Victoria knows that you hated riding with her.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm terrified.
And she refuses to allow anyone else to drive, so...
Yeah, right.
So as you're zipping along the Irish city streets, passing people in on like 2 wheels.
Let's just get out of town. Maybe they've got like a spot. Maybe they've got a spot they like. Kind of.
Yeah,
Like
as you make a, like, traffic was fairly busy, not too bad, but you make it out of town in like 10 minutes, cruising through the city streets at around 80 to 90 miles per hour. At one point in time, you see the cops go like this, and you look back and you're like, good vision. You look back and you see the other police officer put his hand on the shoulders of the other guy, shake his head, and then flips off the light.
He was like, nah, man. We went after her every single time. Yeah, so they come. I think they come to like they've got like a spot that they like. Right outside of town, like maybe overlooking the sea. Yeah, and then he's gonna say, "Hey,
she's like, is this a date?"
I mean, I'll be honest. It's gonna be a pretty sucky one if it is, but I am happy to be out here with you.
She laughs and then
further.
looks a little mildly disappointed.
Yeah. He's like, well, I mean, maybe it's not so bad. Hey, I'm here with you. So, yeah, it's a great day.
Okay.
And I want you to know before...
Just tell me what bad news you have. I've seen you try to let this down easy.
Yeah. Your mind was tampered with.
She just nods, like, okay, I know that.
Yeah, it's, I'm Autopsy.
As you say that, she kind of looks at you and kind of squints and doesn't seem to believe you.
Yeah.
And then she shakes her head as she kind of holds it, and yeah.
Yeah, it's take your time, kind of work through it. For the last 3 or 4 years, the whole world's known my identity, and you and
the more you
everybody else
say, the more she kind of winces and starts to hold her head. It looks like she's starting to feel some pain from it.
Oh, I hadn't thought about this. If I tell her it's like her brain gonna explode.
You don't know.
Yeah, because she's fighting the conditioning of the high evolutionary.
BRB.
Hey, are you okay, honey?
She kind of says, "Say what you were gonna say. Finish."
Okay. Yeah, one of my villains revealed my identity to the whole world, and you and everybody else that I care about were kind of constantly under attack. I was just waiting for the shoe to drop and for one of you to die, and I realized I couldn't do that.
She like rubs her nose. It's like she starts to get a nosebleed, and she says, "This is." And she winces and she says, "This is a very strong barrier. I think I understand what you're saying. That I'm feeling like things are coming back."
Do you want
And
me to
she
stop
gets
and
up.
take
She
this?
like gets up and walks out of the car.
Okay. Yeah, Ralph like slides out. Maybe just like kind of keeps walking with her.
Yeah, and as you you just kind of walk there quietly, waiting, and she suddenly just, boom, hits the ground.
Oh, jeez, Victoria. Check the pulse.
She's alive.
Okay. Just kind of overwhelmed her.
Something's wrong with the mental block. Yeah. Is what you would think. She shakes her head after a little bit and goes, and looks at you, and,
like, get her back
and as you like pull her back up, she's like, "Thanks." Okay. So you can fly and everything, huh?
Yeah. A lot of stuff actually.
I can remember some of it, but it's not all coming back, and the more I force it, the worse it gets.
Yeah, we shouldn't do that. Let's just take it. Let's take it a little bit at a time. But I just want you to know, if I
How did this
late
happen?
Dinner.
Why don't I remember this?
I can fill you all in on that later. I think we probably need to take this a little bit slowly.
Well, if it's not a memory I would have had, there shouldn't be a block to it. Didn't you ever go
You have the
through...
memory.
If you're a superhero, didn't you have to, like, go through some training or something?
Oh yeah. School of Hard Knocks, baby.
There's a
That's
laugh.
easy.
There's a half laugh.
Yeah. The important thing is that before an autopsy or anything, I'm your husband. I love you. I love Fuuten.
She gives you a hug, gives you a kiss, and says, "Drive me back."
Sure. Wait, drive you back. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I can drive right now. As she tries, she pulls like a a napkin out of the glove box and
Yeah.
tries to stop the nosebleed.
Okay. Yeah, then he'll drive her back into town. So take this slow.
Okay. So, yeah, she seems to have remembered a good portion of it after the continued conversation. You tell her a little bit more about the High Evolutionary, right?
Yeah. Tell her. Yeah.
She,
about the
I mean, okay, so
basically.
she remembers everything that has to do with you, right? In a way. So,
But she wouldn't remember like picking me up from like fighting hobgoblins building.
or she does, she just doesn't remember why she was there. You know what I mean? Like, she's not having her whole memory rewritten. It's just,
right. It's just kind of like blocked out. Right?
yeah, it's like, oh, why were we there? Why did I pick him up? You know, and then you fill in the blanks, like, oh, he must have been on a job for investigating something.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. You know.
Okay, so you make your way back to the Contain compound, hit the hay, and wake up in the morning, and drive out to meet your brother at the airport.
Yeah. Okay.
And when you're
Just me or the whole family?
just you.
Okay. Was it like, did mom say like, hey, I want you to pick him up?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm back.
And you get there, you kind of wave to Garrett, who has a beard now and looks like sort of like a drifter. He's like almost like some dude who rolled in off the out of the dusty west.
Yeah.
And he's like, as you come in close, he looks like he's been all scarred up or something. And he just looks pretty rough, honestly. The skin is sun-beaten hard. Like he just came back from the desert. There's some severe scarring on the neck and one or two on the face, on the edges of the face. And there's like a bullet wound through one of his hands that is healed up.
Aaron.
He looks at you and he looks angry, and then he shakes his head like he can't place why he's angry, and he says, "Hey, Ralph, let's go home. Let's go to the house.
Okay.
I've been gone for a long time, and when Mom got a hold of me, I just couldn't remember why. I'd like to see everybody."
Yeah, everyone's there. They're really excited to see you. Hey, and you like kind of like stop and just like look at him and be like,
"Don't ask."
I'm really glad to see you.
And then he looks at you and he's like, "That's not what I expected." And he pats you on the back.
Yeah. Hey, all right. Have you gotten to meet Victoria yet?
They look at each other, and he says, "Yeah, I remember meeting her when I was here in Ireland a couple of years ago."
But
And Victoria looks at him, and then looks at you, and her face looks a little surprised for a second, and then immediately, like a professional actor, shifts back to like
Yeah.
a heartwarming smile and gives your brother a hug.
Man, I saw guys like you down in Texas all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
I'm
It,
just-
she looks at him, then looks at you, like, oh my god, what is going on here? Like she knows something, and then
Yeah.
that's what makes her surprised, not like his appearance,
Yeah.
but like a memory. You
Yeah,
know
she's
what I mean?
got He's the guy. Now, Jake, he does have regeneration, so would he have scars?
He is as I described.
Oh man, that's rough. And he was a mutant, wasn't he?
Yes.
Okay. Do we know that? I mean, I know that, but like,
You know that.
was that
All your family
know
knows that, yeah.
Okay. Did people? What was the dynamic like with him? Or was that like weird for people? Was it really noticed? Like, apparently
Some
he was
of
a mutant, 'cause I feel like-
some of your family was kind of like uncomfortable around him. But most of them were. I mean, everybody was still treating him like their brother. You know, they
Yeah.
remembered him
Yeah.
before he was a mutant. You know, didn't really treat him that different. There was a bit of uncomfortableness. Like, is he going to sprout wings? Is he going to be a monster? You know, there was. I mean, it's a difficult dynamic to handle. I think when you find out that one of your brothers could shoot a laser beam that could kill everybody in the house out of their eyes on accident. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine for like the younger siblings, it wasn't that weird. They're like, oh yeah, cool.
And especially
But,
when
Gary,
maybe, I mean, you're also being warned to be careful around your brother. You know, you don't know what
didn't we determine?
their powers are
Yeah.
going to be early on. So,
Yeah, that's true.
and then you also hear all these people who are like, the mutants are going to inherit the earth. They're the superior race. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah. Right.
And then you
Right.
hear all these people who are like, mutants are mistakes. Destroy them.
Yeah.
Get rid of them. Genetic
Yeah.
freaks. So,
How
It's-
old's Garrett now?
it's a difficult situation to be in, I think.
He was born in '99, so
he
he's
is 25.
25. Yeah.
No, he was born in 97.
Oh, really? Did I need to change that on his Garrett on his Obsidian portal because we have him at 99?
Yeah, your sister was 99.
Okay,
Isabel.
I'm gonna change that.
All right. So you guys come back in and hang out a bit.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Black Hole. You've arrived in Dublin and made your rounds a little bit. Is there any sights you'd like to see or anything you'd like to do?
So he would want to go to a museum, whatever aerospace museum they might have.
They don't have one in Dublin.
Let's see.
They're uncultured swine here.
You're right back. Rude.
Let's see. I'm looking what museums they have. He's a fan of beer. He's gonna go to the Guinness Storehouse.
All right. While you were at the Guinness Storehouse, having a great time. Hey, you get a call from an old friend. Shoot, what was his name? The Courier. You remember him?
Oh gosh. He's from the Japan game, right?
Yes. He contacts you. He's a high-tech hero. He says, "Hey, Black Hole, what are you up to?"
I'm in Ireland for a partnership with the ISA.
Good. I thought you were headed over that way. A friend of mine
What may I do for you?
had contacted me asking for help. And I can't go and assist them. But maybe you could.
Sure. What are the details?
I have some contacts who work in big technology organizations in London and Dublin, and one of them is contacted me recently. He's been out of touch for a while, but he's been hired to work on a project with a young man from the Cork Academy, and he is going to be meeting them there to discuss a project. I believe it has to do with Fuuten City. And you remember that mission, right?
Yeah, I'm sure he probably has heard of it, but
well, you were on that. You were part of the heist crew that freed the underwater serpent.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Then yes.
Okay. Well, they're going to need your expertise, so if you can get over there, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I'd be happy to get over there.
They're planning to be by later in the week, so I think it'd be this. We'll say this Thursday, so 2 days from now.
All right, sounds good. I'll plan to be there.
All right, so as you're going through this museum, you see you get to do some beer tasting, various other Guinness-related stuff.
Nice.
Does Black Hole want to purchase anything here?
Yeah, I hope I like a little souvenir hat that says Guinness.
Okay.
Maybe a Stein.
As you are looking through those, what is your resources?
Resources are good.
Okay. You easily are able to afford one of those. You're like, curse you, government paycheck. Why do I have to even consider these sort of things? But while you are there we go. While you are making your way out, a giant gorilla leaps over your head, smashing through the glass doors behind you, and says to everyone, "I am here to steal your finest beverages. Give them to me and no one will be harmed." Everyone looks around like, what is going on right here? And he picks up like a table and flings it across the place, which freaks everybody out. And he bellows and pounds his chest.
Okay. I don't think I have a secret identity. Hold on. Yeah, I just have a popularity of 12. Good. No secret identity.
Do you have to wear that outfit?
I don't have like a specific outfit I have to wear now.
The spacesuit, right?
I probably have something that has like astronaut, just like a t-shirt and jeans. The shirt just says astronaut.
Yeah, do you have a helmet though?
I could normally, yeah, I guess. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you have like a collapsible helmet that like covers your face whenever you like superhero up.
Okay, so yeah, I'm like, oh man, I'm just trying to enjoy my my trip to Dublin. I press my little side button and it covers my face.
Yeah, you got like a cool necklace that turns into a helmet.
And then I'm like, you could have just bought some beer, and then I go in and...
As you shout that and yell it, it turns around and you realize that it was in fact simply just actually a gorilla. and it looks at you and says, "Who are you? Why are you trying to interfere with the machinations of Paprika, the super gorilla?"
You're causing a scene, sir. I'll buy you a beer.
"I'm a lady. How dare you?"
I'll still buy you a beer.
Make it a date.
She picks up one of the stools and throws it at you.
Okay.
I looked up
guess-
gorilla names, guys.
I guess I need to roll to dodge.
Yeah.
Paprika the gorilla, huh?
Yep.
Alright, that is not a green.
You just get like decked by a stool.
Right?
Yeah, that's a green. So the stool, boom, drills you right in the helmet. You stumble backwards as you take 20 points of damage.
Okay.
The
I
stool,
do
the stool
technically have a-
cracks on your helmet and falls to the side. Metal splintering.
Now, I do technically have a gravity force field.
Okay.
So it doesn't actually damage me.
You throw up the gravity force field and it hits against it and then falls to the ground.
I'm like, alright, well, we'll do this the hard way. And, I'm just gonna go in for normal
How you feel about hitting ladies, though?
The hammer of justice is unisex. Incredible can't roll for 2, or can it?
Can.
Okay, is 77 a yellow?
I believe so.
It should be, yeah.
Yes.
Alright.
66, 67 or higher is a yellow. Okay, what are you doing?
Another page. I'm gonna go in for my first attack, and I'm gonna, just for flair, I'm gonna use my gravity powers to move the gorilla's face to my fist instead of punching.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
pull her into it? Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
your what's your gravity powers?
They're amazing.
Okay, roll an agility roll.
That's another yellow.
Yeah, so the gorilla sees you coming and tries to pull back against the gravity powers, but though she's flailing around and like grabs hold of 2 of the tables, it boom get pulled forward and you just hold your fist out. Like you just kind of do a jab at the same time and then it goes boom, cracks into your force field, and the gorilla's face, boom, blood pours out instantly, and she's wobbling around like barely able to stand. She's like, "Ah!" and swings wildly at you. Tears rolling from its eyes from the pain. That's a yellow. You duck underneath of it and then throw a real uppercut. What's your strength?
40. Incredible.
Boom! You drill the gorilla, it goes crashing up into the ceiling, and its gorilla legs just hang out of the ceiling, wobbling back and forth as you hear pieces of plastic crack down and fall behind you.
Nicely done.
Alright, I fly up there and I call animal control, ?
Okay. You make the phone call, and Autopsy. Meanwhile, Alexi's giving you a police alert that says that a rogue gorilla has been released. A super gorilla has been released from a science lab nearby. And then as you're like changing your clothes and coming outside, like and pulling your helmet, a face mask over, you hear, the situation's been handled by a man in an astronaut suit. Out.
Yuri? I'm like, base anomalous? He didn't write out?
Yeah. What was the other spacesuit guy?
It was a Space Oddity.
Space Oddity.
Like
Yeah.
a radiated skeleton guy. I think that he's like one of those dudes who just drifts in and out of the comics. Like you'll just see him in the background of panels and stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of doing his own thing.
I missed an opportunity, but I just want to say, as I do this, I say, you wanted a drink, you're about to see Starbucks.
As you fly over Starbucks, levitating the gorilla behind you. It's still unconscious.
I'm like, alright. He's got that taken care of, I guess. I'll send my golem instead of me, just to like go and like keep an eye on things, like make sure he doesn't need any help.
It's already over. Before you could even change
then,
clothes, it was over.
I'm a super gorilla. Who's experimenting on gorillas? That's wrong.
Okay.
Does
Black
Josh
Hole.
get like free beer from the Guinness facility?
Yeah, you do. When you go back, you get free round of drinks.
Heck yeah!
They give you more, but you destroyed most of their ceiling. Because apparently you can lift over your head 10 tons.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I am an altered human, so.
Radiation.
You make your way out of there, and yeah, you're good to go. Autopsy, you are contacted. You were supposed to talk with Fuuten, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I give him a call.
Okay. He says, "Hey, Ralph. Hey, I have this experiment that I was working on. I don't remember why, but it is supposed to trace down some old tech from that Fuuten guy, and it doesn't work. And I don't remember why I'm supposed to do it, but can you? I think I'm supposed to go to Autopsy. Can you give it to him or something?" Okay.
Look, if you say it doesn't work,
Yeah, it needs some like materials from the old base. But you probably didn't know where that is. There is an old Fuuten base under the ocean near Iceland, a big city-like thing, and it's just too dangerous. And I don't think they really need to go over there to finish it. So I'll leave it to him, and if he can figure it out, then best of luck to him, I guess, right?
I guess so. How you doing?
Doing good.
You want to come up for the weekend? I've got the whole family here. We're just missing
Yeah, I'll be over towards the end of the week. When your mother is she keeps wanting me to call her grandma. He laughs. Anyways,
Yeah, I know, it's a little weird.
I guess grandma wants me to come by when they're having like dinner and everything.
She really likes you.
She comes down a lot.
Yeah? You get to see her quite a bit?
Yeah, she's down here like at least once a month.
She's proud of you, Fuuten. She says you're the smartest guy in the family. You're going to do great things.
Thanks.
That's what she told me. I believe her.
I hear your brother's pretty stiff competition though. Glenn?
Which one's that?
Glenn. Everybody says he's
Is Glenn super smart?
he's smart. He's the smartest guy in your family until Fuuten came around.
Yeah. Hey, it's not a competition.
Well, that's your opinion.
Right.
Just you wait.
Right.
I got something big planned.
Bet you do, buddy. I bet you do.
All right. I gotta go. I'll talk to you later.
How you doing? How you doing with the hero work with Mr. Humbler?
I'll fill you in on it later. You gotta go.
Okay.
Got class stuff to do.
All right.
See ya.
Buddy.
You hear
Bye.
some laughter in the background. Maybe he wasn't
Friends?
maybe he wasn't up to class stuff.
Hey, you know what? If he's got friends, if he's actually meeting people, I'm happy about that.
Uh,
Uh, all right. So what he said is, how is he gonna send that?
a
Is he
little
gonna
way
bring that up?
about an hour later, while you were like helping your sisters make uh, uh, you're helping the
Fun.
triplets and the twins, the twin husbands, make
Yeah.
dinner. The six of you are working on this.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
your mother yells in, "Hey, drone from Fuuten here!" And she opens the door and it flies into the kitchen. Or she opens the window and it flies into the kitchen.
Yeah. Cool. Is it like one of those classic drones? It's got like the little round like bug body and like the little blue green like the little blue eyes
Sure.
on the front of it and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a little jetpack underneath of it. Flies it around. Yeah, and it drops a little
Okay.
like circular. It looks like a Dragon Ball Z Dragon Ball scanner.
Nice.
And there's like some instruction booklet that's inside the box that it drops off, and it says, "Well, you have to insert the materials used here. He used a highly and unusually radioactive isotope that they stabilized. It's an artificial element, so combined with some other stuff to make a stable molecular structure. So you have to probably find a stash of it in the old
Yeah.
Fuuten city." That's what it says. It's all for autopsy, which of course you read.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
says it's probably not worth it. Evidently, Fuuten does not remember Evie. He says it's probably not worth it for a
That's
watch.
interesting.
And it would be hard to remember Evie without knowing who you are, right?
Yeah. 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 We're pretty closely linked.
I mean, she was literally attached to your body.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was probably not worth it for a watch, is what he says. That place is still really dangerous. There
sure,
is the. I was working with the gadgeteer, it says, and another collaborator from London. They said they were going to bring in outside help if you're interested.
Wait, he said another collaborator from London.
Yeah.
Does he say who that is?
Yeah.
All right. I think Ralph's like paranoia starts pinging here. Because who would Gadgeteer bring in? Who would Futon bring in? I guess like Ralph will, say, oh hey, let me put this away, whatever. Find a quiet place. Acid calls Gadgeteer.
Yeah. Gadgeteer picks up. Hey,
Hey.
you guys left Daybreak. She can't fly or teleport anymore.
Yeah, it's a bit of a.
I had to come pick
We're
her
gonna have a
up.
team meeting.
I feel like she was a little disappointed in everybody. She's pretty torn up over it all. She told me she got Delilah killed. And Valkyrie, but
Yeah,
that seemed to be like a second thought, honestly. Oh gosh, she forgot about it.
Like Delilah first and then Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's we're gonna have a team meeting and a debrief. It was a rough one, Vegetarian. It's tough.
Yeah, I should have pressured you guys more. Reed was right, I guess. You're lucky to make it back.
Yeah, we were really lucky.
Aaron teleported in and then teleported out, picked up Ira, since Delilah's not here to take care of her anymore, and Miss Amazing, and went back to his house, told me that they were dead before I met Daybreak, and didn't really tell me much else. Daybreak filled me in on the details, though, on our flight back from Dublin. I think she rode a commercial flight from Douglas back to London, guy. But Autopsy, I think she's planning to try to be a superhero without any powers. So I'm gonna do what I can to help her, but I don't know if that's such a good idea. I told her she should take some time off and try to get her head right. That's what they say in the psychology books.
No, you're 100% right. All right. I'm gonna contact her. Yeah, it's if she asks for any dangerous equipment.
Nothing too serious. Just like a lightsaber, repainted shield, and some body armor, and boots that helped her jump off stuff.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Talk with Aaron about it.
Gadgets, you're out. Click.
No, wait, hold up.
He's gone.
I shoot him a text, and I'm like, "Hey, who were you collaborating with in London and Fuuten about finding Yeti?"
It says coworker, friend. I can't disclose. It doesn't work with me. I'll say that much.
Did you bring him in on this? We need to be really careful about who we tell about the projects we're working on.
He puts like a bunch of question marks, like device to scan for radioactive watch.
I mean, yeah, but it's our technology. If one of our enemies got a hold of that, Evie has a ton of information about all of us. By the way, Alexi works pretty great. I appreciate you giving me a
Thumbs up.
Can you vouch for this coworker? Because they can trace this back to us.
Yeah, he says, I think he's okay.
Can you give me a name so I can run a background check on him?
Don't ask me for on your projects if you don't want me to work on them.
Sound of that.
I was looking for your watch for you, Autopsy. I built your rocket ship for you. I needed help on this one.
Okay. But you feel like you can trust this person? Because we've got some pretty nasty...
I don't know. I haven't met him personally.
I send a bunch of question marks.
No more answers. And then you get after you send another question mark, you've been blocked by this person. Response.
Yeah, that doesn't jive right with me. If we're dealing with Purple Moth, finding all my family, Fuuten, someone tracking us. Yeah, I'm not feeling good about that. I think Ralph pokes his head in. He's like, "How long till dinner?"
You were working on it with us. You were in charge of the stove. As you look over and you see like some stuff boiling over.
Yeah, kind of like I know. Hey, okay. I guess like after dinner, he's gonna fly to. He's gonna slip out. He's gonna fly to the Isle of Man, and be like, "Hey, we got it." Like, and he'll talk to Gadgeteer
it's
about
empty.
Purple Moth. It's empty.
Yeah. It's middle of the evening. It's early evening on a Thursday.
Yeah, that's true. He's not like he lives at the base, is it?
No, he lives somewhere else.
I don't know where he lives, do I?
No, he has a secret identity.
Yeah. text. All right, as I'm flying back, I text Fuuten and say, "Hey, I've got some real concerns about potential security breach with whoever Gadgeteer was working with. Do you have any way of tracking down information about who he worked with?"
You get a don't know. Gadgeteer said he was cool. Seems like he was from the city. And then it's like it's a bunch of garbled letters. Like somebody mashed a bunch of buttons while doing something else on accident.
Okay. Yeah, goes back home, hangs out with everybody. I think they had to do a big family movie night, right?
Oh yeah, I mean there was also a thing for the. Wait, it wasn't Thursday. It was Tuesday, right? So on Thursday, 2 days from now, there's a meeting with a guy they got to help Autopsy go to the base.
Say that one more time because that didn't make any sense to me.
So to find the location, they got somebody who has been in the city to take Autopsy to the radioactive isotope storage.
Oh, that's what he said? He said that there was someone who was going to take me there?
Yeah, there was also a third scientist collaborating with them.
Yeah, they were going to take me... Oh, okay, so they set up a meeting for me to meet someone who was going to take me to the city, like, in Fuuten City.
Yes.
Yeah, that's totally the Purple Moth.
Could
There's a
be.
scientist from the city.
So there was a scientist, too. Could be the same guy, could not be. You don't know.
There's a lot of scientists down there, but I feel pretty concerned about that, right?
Yeah, I mean, Purple Moss checks a lot of boxes, and you're really concerned about him right now.
Yeah, because he's going to kill my whole family.
And you'll become a fascist dictator.
Yeah. Like, how the hell does the Purple Moth check out for both Fuuten and Gadgeteer?
You don't know.
I was like, yeah. I think he's totally cool. The guy looked into the fear dimension and went psycho. More so than he was.
I don't think he went psycho. I think he was already pretty crazy.
Yeah, he was pretty far. Didn't he like surgically modify his face and everything?
Yeah, he stitched his face back together after he got it cut it up.
Yeah. Okay. So I think what Autopsy does is he calls together. He has like moving out with his family, whatever. Do they have any way? Like, do I have to be down at the city and I'm gonna meet this guy? How do they?
No. It's in Dublin. Which
A vacant warehouse, maybe.
Yeah, vacant warehouse on the wharfs in Dublin.
Yeah. All right. So this is tracking. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of preemptive work here.
Okay.
So he calls together a quick meeting that evening after the family's gone to bed with Victoria and the rest of the Dublin defenders.
None of them are available.
They're not?
No. Celestia has rebuilt her facility outside of Dublin in Swords.
Okay.
Okay. And she just says, "Don't call me in on any of more of this stuff. It went real bad last time Autopsy. I don't want to." I mean, a lot of people almost died. And then Gaelic Guardian, you get the on a mission. Old rival has escaped again. Yeah.
Then I'll
If this is Autopsy, I'm on the hunt for the silver cylinder.
For real?
It's a message, so that's all you get. Yeah.
Yeah, alright, I just gotta look at a silver cylinder. Then I text him and say, civilian, need to keep a family safe. They're being targeted by one of Futen's crazy ex-scientists. The guy helped us out during the Fuuten War. Are we able? Can I have them go to a bunker? Do you have a safe house that I can put them in till I apprehend this guy?
No. Well, you don't get a response, actually, because he is out.
Comes out.
Well, he's not available right now.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you want to do?
What I want to do is take all my family to the Isle of Man and give them a tour of the exile base that, Autopsy, or Ralph Fontaine, the detective, was able to pull in a favor. And they were like, oh yeah, we can show you around this while I deal with the purple moth. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, okay.
But I want to, so I talk it over with Victoria first. When I get the call that they can't help, I'm like, all right. I get the call with, I want to tell Victoria basically what happened, what we've seen, what I've been trying to do with Fuuten and Gadgeteer. And I tell her, like, I'm 75% sure, leaning towards 80, that any scientist in Futen's old city is connected to this purple one guy, and he's absolutely psycho.
Okay.
And he's gonna kill all of us, all of you. And I really don't want to become a fascist dictator. I don't plan on it, but I need to keep you guys safe. My idea is to.
And you say, you're like, I would do anything to keep you all safe, and it's like really menacing for a second,
Yeah, and all the shadows get a little darker. But
she's like, well,
what I want to do is send all of you to the Isle of Man and give you a tour of the base.
You said it's at the end of the week, right? So, I mean, wouldn't this be the perfect opportunity for you to take him out before we're supposed to run into him?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of a backup in case he escalates the time frame.
Are you sure you
I
would
want to go out tonight.
want to bring us to the Isle of Man? It's going to be very suspicious.
I know. I've had this whole stupid lie about how Ralph helped out Autopsy and he was going to let him, tour the base, or that he was a fan of Victoria, the race car driver.
You haven't worked, Ralph, in 2 years.
Yeah.
It would be hard to think Autopsy would need you.
I know. So that's why I was. So maybe it makes more sense to use the race car driver. He's a big fan.
How about I bring my guns with me, and we tell Fuuten to bring his armor.
All right, I like it. Can't lose anybody else, Vic. I don't want to lose you guys.
She gives you a hug and says, "Well, then you better catch him before before this weekend."
Okay. So we got to meet for Thursday.
Yep. So you make your last minute preparations, and then that evening, late in the night, you drift away, and you go down to the warehouse by the wharfs. Meanwhile, Black Hole, what are you up to?
Well, I've been drinking at the Guinness place.
Oh no,
For
Josh.
3 days!
Gravity powers and beer. That's a terrible combination.
I'm in Ireland, guys.
What else was I supposed to do?
Whenever I'm not working, I'm at a pub. Or trying to network with higher ups so that I
At the
can
pub.
have people at the pub. Yeah, networking with the Irish people at the Irish pub. It's perfect. Because I'm hoping that Ireland will join the initiative to put a research facility on Titan.
Yeah, you have. There has been some. You were on one of the Mars missions. You've just come back a little while ago, where they researched the cause of the destruction of the Mars base, and now they have committed to reestablishing the Mars base, and you're trying to convince people to do the Titan initiative. You think the tech is ready?
Yeah. So yeah, no, that's what I'm doing. I'm schmoozing the higher ups in the industry.
All right, so that's how you spend the next couple of days. You go over and you do some like training seminars and give some information. And then it's the time for the meetup. So you drift away in the middle of the night and walk to the wharfs where you are supposed to make your connection. Autopsy.
Yeah.
You see
An astronaut.
You see a figure. What does he look like? Walking in these darkened alleys your way.
He looks like a regular guy almost, but he's wearing. He's semi-professional now. He's wearing slacks and a button-up shirt.
The dress of an insane person. It's clearly Purple Moth.
He's got brown eyes, blonde hair. He's 5'10", 175 pounds. His blood type is special.
Wow. This is your chance, guys. Play into comic book tropes. Two superheroes meet for the first time.
Yeah. Purple Moth, I finally found you. You're not gonna kill my family.
What?
I know you may have an image inducer, but you're still the Purple Moth.
Is this or is the gorilla back?
I step out of the shadows. No gorilla. I'm gonna kick your ass like it's the jungle.
Hold on one sec.
Hey, wait, what? And then I squint and I look at you, and I'm like, who are you? Do you work for the Purple Moth?
Speed.
No, I was
You should blast him. Superhero fights always on the first time. You can't be.
You up, Josh.
You can't be
I
reasonable.
shoot it, I grab you. I'm like,
There you go.
Did you grapple me?
yeah,
I say your problems are about to be mass produced, and what I do is I make us fly up into the air by reversing gravity.
and then I like just hover there because I can fly. I'm like, obviously you're not from around here. I got some new powers since you last saw me down in that city.
What? What are you talking about?
Play stupid with me. I know. Maybe Purple Moth didn't tell you everything, but I know what you guys were doing down there, making zombies, dinosaurs.
Sir, I'm an astronaut.
Astronaut? No, you're not. You're a scientist. You work for Purple Moth.
I mean, all astronauts are scientists.
Really? Like, thanks for a second. Okay, maybe, but no, Fuuten didn't have any astronauts down there. They were all geneticists and designing freaks. Anyways, tell me who you're working for. Where can I find Purple?
I turn my shirt towards him and it says NASA on there. I'm like,
Yeah, you pull out your little badge from inside your shirt. You're like, oh, I'm sorry.
I like bring you forward using like the shadow powers, like kind of pull you forward, and I like catch you and I look and I'm like, oh, what's your character's name, Josh?
Linus Lackey, aka Black Hole.
Black Hole. Alexi, can you cross-reference this guy?
Giving you all Google search results for Lackey, and it shows pictures of muscle-bound idiots.
No. I really need Evie. Linus Lackey, Black Hole.
Linus Lackey. He's like number 3 on the search results, behind a more famous Linus Lackey. He was a video game character, Linus Lackey. But this one is number 3, who's also known as the superhero black hole.
Oh.
It's like Heropedia.
Yeah.
I'm like, I kind of like hang my head and kind of take us back down to the grounds. I go, I apologize, Mr. Blackie.
So, who's this purple moth you're all worked up over?
He's a scientist, complete psycho, works for Fuuten. I'm sure you've heard of him if you know something about the city. He's trying to kill my family.
Oh. Yeah, I'd say that's a reason to be defensive, but I don't think I look like any purple moth. I look at my...
No, you don't. I can see you don't have your face all cut up, but I just wasn't sure if you were working for him.
Alright, you got it. I'm still a little drunk.
Oh, great. So, Gadgeteer said that you could help me. I apologize. I made a complete ass of myself there.
Yeah, I was just told to, that somebody could use my expertise, and I'm all about getting more people on board for my Titan initiative, so I'll help out however I can.
Titan initiative. What was that?
Well, I'm an astronaut. I want to build a research facility.
You
on
give him the
moon
whole
Titan.
spiel after that, right?
Yeah, give him the whole spiel.
I very like respectfully listen. I feel like he's owed it, you know. After I don't get a lot of it, but I'm like, oh well, it seems like a very noble endeavor you're looking to do, expanding
Science.
the reach of humanity and such. Well, maybe we can find something at this city that you can use as well. I'm told that it's dangerous, but the mad scientist, mad genius Fuuten had all kinds of stuff down there.
You were already there once. Black hole.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I've been to
Oh,
this
you were?
place
Oh.
before.
Yeah, before it sunk.
I didn't realize you'd been there. You know, I'm just gonna be quiet now and listen to what you have to say. Clearly, you know more about what's going on than I do.
Okay, well, I haven't figured out how we're going to get a submarine, but obviously that's going to be the easiest way to get that far underwater. And then we're going to have to figure out how to deal with the pressure, especially if we intend to leave.
Well, we'll say the black hole has developed a ability for himself that he can strengthen his force field and give himself a protected environment underwater, protecting him from the pressures of space and water. I mean, you have limited air, right? But
Right.
can you fly?
Yeah, I have excellent true flight.
Okay, so let's up that. You've been practicing it for a while, and let's put it at fantastic 35.
Woo!
I think I can find your respirator if you like.
Oh, yeah, that would be incredible.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
I guess black hole's concern would be autopsy, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
he
but
can
what
get
about
the-
you?
I'll be fine.
Okay. I guess they would.
Am I correct? That's part of water freedom, right? Like you can resist the pressures.
Yeah. Plus, you have
Yeah.
water breathing.
Yeah. All right, Jake. Can I assume that like Gaelic Guardian has like a respirator?
I don't think Gaelic Guardian gives you free reign to go and loot his base for his equipment.
Didn't I like live in his bunker though?
Yeah, you were the friend that he put up for like a couple months, and now you're gonna go back there and be like, hey, I'm just gonna take your respirators. Hope you don't need them.
I mean, if he's a really good friend, yeah.
That's how you end up with not really good friends. You steal
Yeah,
their
that's
shovel.
It's true. It's true.
You can do it though, yeah. If you know how to break into his house and steal his stuff.
I don't want to break. Do we have that stuff at? Do we have that stuff at the Isle of Man?
Yes.
Okay. We'll pull one. In fact, the Isle of Man.
But
I could just.
I mean, he doesn't need it. If you just if he surrounds himself in a force field and then you pull the force field with your shadow powers, you guys can fly there at your speeds. And then he just strengthens his force field with his environmental protection, and then you pull him down to the entrance, and then you guys go inside. And if you're down at the bottom, I mean, you guys fly around with that protective bubble. You just have to make sure you're out before the however much air he can trap, which is probably like an hour or two.
Okay. Well, we can always come back up and replenish it.
Yes.
It takes 10 minutes to get back to the surface. Okay. All right, overthinking this. I said, yeah.
Or he could just put on his super suit with his astronaut helmet, and because I mean it's a super suit, it's got to be protective against drowning.
Okay.
If it holds air and space.
Yeah, I have like a little air pack actually. We'll say it's like one of the perks of being a NASA astronaut is they let me engineer my own things sometimes.
Yeah, and you're a superhero astronaut, right? You're doing double duty.
Yeah, right. You're gonna have a little life support system, 100%. Okay.
Yeah, I mean you have a astronaut suit. Canonically you used to have an astronaut suit. So the only thing we're really adding to the astronaut suit is the fact that it will hold up to underwater pressure, which is a little bit of a stretch, but not in the grand scheme of things that big of a stretch, you know?
It sounds very comic booky.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So, are you ready to leave now?
Yeah. I say as I swagger a little bit.
Hold on just a second. I'll go to a convenience store and I'll buy him a Gatorade and be like, here, you should drink this.
What's your endurance?
My endurance is 40 incredible, so I'm probably sober by now.
Yeah, well, you get lassoed up, right, in your force field, and he starts to zip you across, and before you get to Iceland, you're sober again.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll truck there.
I look at him as I'm like recovering. Those Irish know how to drink.
Yeah. Where'd you go?
Well, I went to the brewery and it was attacked, the Guinness Brewery, and it was attacked by a gorilla. It was kind of
I
weird.
caught that on the scanner. That was you that stopped it.
Yeah.
Your new arch enemy.
I feel a little bad. I feel like I hurt it quite a fair bit. Then I gave it to animal control.
So answer me this: how easy is it to experiment on gorillas and give them the ability to talk? I feel like that's some high-level super science there.
I'm just a normal engineer. I don't know about genetic experimentation.
Okay.
I'm a genetic anomaly, but that's because I got hit by space dust.
Like Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four. We're like, gone down.
Yeah, Reed and I we talked about it a little bit, and he says it was pretty similar, but it still doesn't make sense.
Well, you're an engineer, not a geneticist.
Yeah, I'm an engineer, not a geneticist. Like, Reed Richards wanted to run some tests on me, so I let him.
Yeah, he's probably interested in.
Okay, so you guys have your conversations. You talk to him a bit. You realize he's not really a scientist, and he was called in by a friend of his, a courier, as a favor to another person to come help you out. And so,
how do you know Gadget here?
Friend of a friend, I guess.
You don't know Gadgeteer.
Yeah.
You don't know who that is.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know who you're talking about. The courier contacted me, said it had something to do with Futen's base, and I've been there, so I figured I could help you. They said you could use my expertise.
All right. us to, as we're getting down deeper, I want us to be careful because there's somebody in the mix that I don't know who knows a lot about you and me, and it could be that purple moth figure. And I'll kind of give him a rundown of who that guy is,
Okay.
What he's capable of. And I go, I'm concerned that he's going to cause some real damage. I've put my family on the alert, but he's completely insane. And I think his mind is operating at a level that makes it very hard to predict him. I can see this being one great big joke, trapping two of us down here at the bottom of the ocean with zombie dinosaurs or something.
Why would
Pokemon? You ever seen what a Pokemon is? They're horrible.
Yeah, I play Pokemon Go with my sister whenever I'm in the States.
Fuuten released Pokemon Go like a year or two ago. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. We said that he made all the video games based off of the monsters, right?
Well, no, Fuuten had knowledge of the video games from an alternate reality because he had cosmic awareness.
But didn't we say that Fuuten, like the kid, made...
No, you gave him a copy that you took from the base somehow. I don't remember how that happened.
Okay, and then he kind of came up with Pokemon Go.
Well, then he ported that into the cell phone version, right? Because it didn't exist on the Game Boy.
So Pokemon Go is everybody's first.
Yeah, he released a couple of the games too. So he's even richer than he was before.
Excellent.
Nice. Yeah, I go. Well, I'll tell you, they're based off of something real, and they're not cute.
Well. I
So
mean,
we
it
don't
is
run
sort
into-
of like an equivalent to a cockfight, right? It's monster, whatever. So
Yeah.
it probably isn't that. I can say if it's real, it wouldn't be great. But the video games are super fun. You should try Pokemon Go. I checked my steps on my watch. Oh man, I'm only at 8,000 steps today.
Yeah, you are. It says that alert. It's like you're moving too fast. Please don't use Pokemon Go in an airplane.
In a moving vehicle. Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
so
well,
you guys come across and you see a giant ruin of a glass dome in this very dark, watery grave. Ice floating above you. The temperature on your skin is cold despite all of your resistances to it, or even your force field protecting you. The darkness around you is immense, but Black Hole flips on a light. Even at this depth and this darkness, your water adaptations are no longer relevant, and you are also blind. But as you've turned on the lights, Black Hole, you see a giant the walls of the glass dome, which you were briefly visible as you were getting down and down and down into the water. But you see them closer now. There's these massive. What was once a massive glass dome has collapsed on the top, and there are ruined buildings, half crushed, half sunken over, all inside as a large area seems to be occupied with this what was the remnants of a magnificent city. Streets literally paved with gold as you look in there, and leading away from the city and through one of the glass walls is a cave network that seems to stretch up and in towards the Icelandic shelf.
Well, I think we've made it. Wow, this is an incredible sight. This is the kind of thing that, once you've seen Earth from space, it still never fails to awe you. This is sort of like that.
Yeah.
So, do you know the general area of where we're searching?
I think so. I got a scanner here that
No, the thing is supposed to be put in the scanner. That's what the instructions said. However, Black Hole, you do
right.
know that there was a place labeled on the eastern side of the city as hazardous material storage, and you can direct him there.
Okay. I think that's where we're going to need to go. I can take quite a bit of punishment. If it gets too hot, radioactive or otherwise, let me know and we'll get you out of here, okay?
You got it.
As you guys fly over top of the city, you look down and there are hordes of zombies wandering the watery depths of the city.
Kind of shuffling around.
Yeah. And then you feel the glimpse of something scutter, like poof, a massive creature disappear into the cave system. You catch a...
That was on like the side of
yeah, far away
Nice,
from you.
right.
But you're hovering over top of the city, so you saw it. It must have been gigantic. To see it with the very dim light that the black hole's suit is giving off on the other side of the city, it must have been enormous.
I'll say some of those Pokemon are enormous, and I almost got eaten by one of them. So, we need to be careful.
Alright. Understood. Do you think the
Jake,
lights...
does Alexi have a light as well?
Yes. Click. It sputters for a second and then shuts off. And it says, battery's low. You forgot to turn off the search function. Searching for Linus Lackey. Search result 10,462.
We can find a non-flooded charger down here. Alright.
Yeah. Alexi says, it says, you're looking for a charger. Remember, Alexi can be solar powered. Leave out in the sun for up to 8 hours to fully recharge batteries.
I really miss Evie.
And then
What
it
did
says,
Evie run off of? Was she nuclear?
yeah. You had a little fusion battery on your wrist.
Yeah.
And then it says, going into power saver mode.
Alright.
The screen dims.
Just kind of like click them. And going deeper towards hazardous storage. Keep
Okay.
my eye out. Looking around for stuff.
Since you guys
Roll
don't...
an
up-
intuition check just to see.
Alright, make intuition checks.
It's a green for me.
That's yellow.
Okay, you guys fly through the city, keeping all the way from the ground. There seems to be a large number of undersea animals that are living around here. Some that you've never seen before, but whenever you try to get a glimpse of them, they dart away. They're very quick. The zombies have taken notice of you, and they are shuffling in the direction that you're headed.
Jake, I'm just gonna pick up a piece of building and just kind of like lay it down like in their way so they can't get through it.
They clamber over top of it.
They can climb
Yeah.
like a whole building. I guess they're underwater, right? So their buoyancy is better.
Well, they just kind of, you picked up a piece of it and you pushed it over to the side, right? And it fluttered down, and then they just kind of clambered over the broken pieces.
No, I was thinking like something like big, like a building, and like blocking off the street.
Okay, you can't pick up a building. Not that strong.
How much does 70 tons give me?
It's more than 70 tons.
Okay, alright.
Well, no, you can lift more than 70 tons, is what I'm saying. You lift like
I can't.
150.
My strength is only 70.
I know. It doesn't scale the same anymore. After a certain point.
A 3-story house weighs about 200 pounds per square foot. For the 3-level house, it's 350 pounds per square foot.
I'm gonna assume that buildings probably way more than whatever. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, so like
the average,
all 3-story house-
the average 2 American story house, according to this web search, is without basement and foundation, is 80 to 160,000 pounds. So that is 40 to 400. No, wait, 40 to 80 tons for a 2-story house made out of wood. So as you grab a large chunk of a skyscraper, that's about as much as you can pick up. Remember, like a tank weighs like 60 tons.
Yeah, right. No, I'm not Superman. Okay. It's alright. We're just gonna keep an eye on them.
Yeah, and the point is too is that they're not fast or anything like that, but they are able to climb. And most of the buildings are destroyed, and when you rip a part of it off and drop it on the ground, it breaks more, and they're able to climb over top of it.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. That's all right. I'm just gonna keep an eye on them. If it gets too bad, I'm gonna.
At Black Hole, you see a T-Rex wandering through the city streets as you are getting close to the.
A T-Rex zombie.
It must be a zombie. This is at the bottom of the ocean.
I don't know. It's some really weird stuff. I could see an aquatic T-Rex.
Could be. It is walking around at the bottom of the ocean.
Do you know if these guys are like contagious? Like, if I get bitten?
I would not suggest getting bitten.
Autopsy, yes.
Black hole.
Yes, they are.
Oh, excellent.
If you want to flatten them right now, be my guest.
There seems to be, as far as you can tell, Black Hole, if you were to guess, you would say millions.
Yeah, that's not feasible. We're just gonna have to try and be faster than they are.
I think we can do that at least.
Okay, so
you hit one of the Pokemon.
You approach the building. It is a low for this area, which is about a 5-story building tall, with 2 massive gates that go up 5 stories, made out of solid, like a platinum or titanium alloy, as it's a very shiny silver metal. The concrete building looks like it's a giant bomb shelter, and it is the doors are shut, and it has a hazard sign on there with a smiley face, 2 hazard signs with like a smiley face underneath of it, and then it says hazardous material storage, do not enter. And then it says below that in fine print, if you enter and receive superpowers, come meet me.
He liked making these little jokes, right? Real funny guy.
I see that. So, you've got a way to search for what you're needing?
Not exactly. I'm just told it's a radioactive isotope.
You
came in.
You open up the booklet, right? It's waterproofed. It's kind of hard to flip the pages without tearing them at this pressure, but you do carefully, and it has the name there written and description of what it looks like.
Oh, okay. Here we go. You really thought of everything.
Let's hope that he was organized when he stored all this stuff, and that he practiced at least some level of safety.
I'm gonna give us a solid 25% on this one.
So you
based off a previous experience with this guy.
So you're going to go down to the ground and open up the doors? You're just going to try to push them open here or pull them open here or what? In the air?
The gate, air? Like the gate's fence.
Yeah.
Is there a way to just swim over them?
You come over and they seem to be a pull out door, and you start to tug on them. They do not open.
So what you're saying is this is an entirely closed thing, there's a roof to this and everything?
Yeah.
In front of?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
It's a bomb shelter, like I said.
Yeah, I see. So so this thing is absolutely massive.
Yes. It's a 10-story building with 10-story gates.
You were saying that it was surrounded.
No. It's one of the smaller buildings here, but it's still 10 stories tall.
Of just hazardous materials. Oh boy. All right. Think you can help me out here with this one using your gravity powers? You able to give me a little bit of a boost?
I can try, sure.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And
You push as hard as you guys can together. It does not budge.
alright. I know I'm no slouch, so we're gonna have to find another way in this. Jake, any kind of like command console?
Roll intuition.
Oh, it's white.
Yeah, you're looking for a command console. It's black hole. You're like, I don't see anything. What do you guys want to do?
I tell him we really shouldn't just blast a hole in here.
The zombies are down below you. They're like,
Waiting.
yeah.
We don't want the zombies to accidentally get superpowers, so we definitely need
Absolutely not.
Marvel zombies.
Alright, here, I'm going to clear some space. Maybe there's a control panel down towards the base of it. It doesn't make sense that they put anything up here. And Jake, I'm gonna go down there and have my shadow golem just flatten all the zombies.
Okay, you release the shadow golem, start having him punch. Roll intuition.
Hope he can't get it. Yellow.
Okay, as he's blasting his way through them, he then sees that there were actually 2 normal-sized doors, double doors, down at the bottom, and the whole thing was just
Nice.
was a welded shut giant piece of metal.
Again, I just shake my head. I look at him. He's like,
And then one of the zombies bites your guy, and he goes, "Ah," and flies up towards you guys.
A zombie does?
No, he bites
my
your
shadow
shadow
golem
golem. Yeah,
does?
yeah.
Oh, hold up here. And Jake, I want to make like a shadow knife, or like using my shadow construct powers. Yeah, green. I get it.
What is your
I'm gonna
shadow?
just, like,
What is your shadow golem's fighting?
50? Amazing.
Okay, he's coming for you.
I'm gonna make like a lance, right? Like a long spear to like keep the distance with him.
Okay, he's going for a grapple.
All right. Yeah, of course he is. That's a yellow for me.
All right, you boom, stab him straight in the chest. It stabs through, and he disappears into shadows.
Well, that didn't go as planned, did it?
But stabbing him? Yeah, that one is planned. No, I did not think that these zombies could turn shadows into zombies. We got to get in there now, really fast. Let's go.
All right.
We'll zip down, Jake. Go through the doors.
I use while we're trying to get through the doors, I'll use my gravity powers to like make them fall backwards to make sure that there's a big enough opening for us to be
It's
safe.
kind of like, yeah.
All right,
like
they're
a-
all normal humans, so you just gravity reverse, and they go boom, 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 and like smash into buildings and like like splatter. It's gruesome.
We're gonna have to do that without seeing them next time because we need to close these doors. We can't have them getting in.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so you autopsy, pull open the doors. That's hard. It takes all your strength but they are pulled open. Water starts to rush in.
I'll close it.
Okay, you guys step in, close the doors behind you. As you turn around, you black hole. You flip on your light. You take a breath. The air is stale, but it seems like something's recirculating it, or there wouldn't be any in here. And then you turn on your light, and there's a giant pile of like white cylinders in the middle of the room that stacks up 10 stories, all of them with hazard symbols on it.
Oh my god, this dude's playing Jenga. How did this not fall over when it collapsed?
No. I don't know. We need to be very, very careful. And I'm not trying to be melodramatic, this could probably blow up the earth.
Roll intuition, you guys, as you start to spread out and carefully search the place.
Does detective come into this too, Jake, for looking for
No.
clues?
Yeah.
I'll give you a +1 though because you know Fuuten.
Yeah, kind of how his little sicko mind works.
Yeah. So you start to fly around and separate stuff with gravity, and pretty quickly you find that there's only a select amount of radioactive materials. So Black Hole, after about 15 minutes, you find the material you're looking for. Meanwhile, Autopsy, you're kind of floating around looking at it, and then you see a little red track with arrows on the ground. And it's like flashing. And it's pointing in a direction towards the back of the building.
Alright, I'll follow it.
You follow it, and then there's like confetti pops out, and a banner unfurls, and it says, Autopsy, thanks for coming by.
I think he actually gets a little emotional, just, kind of like to himself. He's just like, oh.
Yeah, and then as you go past that, you go past it, and then there's like a little statue of a purple alien figure that you know from the video games is Mewtwo there, and it's holding another banner that says, I've got a present for you after so long. And then you keep walking by, and there's like a bunch of like gerbils running in hamsters running in a cage, and as they spin the wheel, it unfurls another banner, and it says, you're gonna like this one, keep it and think of me. And then another banner hamster looks over at you, runs up a thing, goes over to the side, bites a string, and a little smaller banner unfurls, and you have to like pick it up and look at it, and says, I'm not bitter about you killing me. And then as you walk over into the thing, there's now a table with a little like cylindrical like a bell jar kind of, but it's underneath a tarp, and on the tarp it says, or adopting my second form, my clone version. Hope he's having a good time.
Yeah.
XOXO. Fuuten.
He laughs. He's like, God dang.
And you pull. What do you want to do?
Yeah, lift the bell jar up.
Okay, you lift off the thing, and underneath of it is a glass jar of sorts with a metal bottom, and inside of it is the most immaculate model of a city you've ever seen.
What? Model of a city?
Yeah, you look in at it, and it is a modern-looking American-style city.
Yeah. Oh no, for real.
And as you look at it more and more, you realize there's a bunch of little people walking around on the inside of it.
Oh, what did you do? I like lean in and like look, try not to get his hope up. He's like, is this really?
Yeah, you look at it, and it's a little American city, yeah, with tons of little people in there.
Looks around. Is there anything else on it?
Nope. There is one other thing. As you like pick it up and turn it around, there's a little door on the backside. A little glass door with a little tiny handle that you can barely grab with your fingernails.
Yeah.
As you pull it open, poof, you disappear into the city. And then black hole year, da-dunk. As you fly over there, black hole, you see a little glass city sitting there, nothing else around. And that is where we will call it for today.
Okay. Great stuff.